Hey everyone, Minutia Minute here, coming at you guys with another video. As you can hear in my voice, I'm a little bit under the weather today, so I apologize in advance. We are, of course, currently working through this card box of Shadows of the Empire, working on getting a complete base set. Of the 90 cards, we currently have 53, so that's pretty cool. Over halfway done, and we've only opened 8 packs. So for today, we're going to go ahead and open up 4 more packs. We'll open up Prince Shizor, a Boba Fett the Bounty Hunter, a Darth Vader, and let's see if we got another Luke Skywalker in here. There we go. And a Luke Skywalker. Now, before digging into these packs, I thought it would be fun to kind of go down the Shadows of the Empire rabbit hole a little bit more. We've already looked at the books, the comics, the cards, obviously, but there were also toys for this set, and so I thought it might be kind of fun to show off my incomplete collection of Shadows of the Empire toys. When I was a kid growing up, I was super into Micro Machines. There was a whole line of Star Wars Micro Machines. And I had virtually everything they put out. I've actually got an almost complete set of the action play sets upstairs. If that's something you guys want to see, leave a comment down below. I'd love to show those off at some point. I'm not sure exactly when, but sometime in the future it would be cool to show off. And of course, Micro Machines got in on the Shadows of the Empire action. They put out 3 blister packs with a combination of ships and characters, which was really cool. So you got the Virago, Emperor Palpatine, Prince Shizor, and then a swoop bike with a rider on it. Fun fact, but the alien on here looks like Kiadi-Mundi. I can't remember the name of their species right now, shame on me, but that's pretty interesting actually. As you can see, this came from CVS for $5.99 at one point. And then here's the back, basically shows all the different sets that you could go get, and calls out that there is an exclusive mini comic inside with 3 different exciting covers. I do not remember that mini comic. Maybe someday I'll crack this open and pull that sucker out, but that's certainly not a job for today. I mean, if there's a mini comic in here, it's pretty small. All right, so then next up here is Collection 1. Sorry, I'm showing these out of order, I just realized. We've got the IG-2000, which is IG-88's ship, Guri, Darth Vader, Asp, who is a character I don't remember off the top of my head. We'll have to check him out when we get to him in the cards. And of course, Guri's ship right here, the Stinger. These actually had a tremendous amount of detail. If you look at Guri here, I don't know how well it shows up on camera, but just a lot of different colors. I mean, there's actually, for being literally an inch tall, like there's actually a little bit of detail in her face. Really cool stuff. They brought these Micro Machines back when The Force Awakens came out, and they were god awful. I bought them and kind of immediately regretted it. They were super junky. The ones from the 90s were just much higher quality. And then if you flip this one over, you'll notice there's no mini comic sticker. It's been covered up. So at some point they got rid of those mini comics, or maybe there never were mini comics and that was just an error in printing. I don't know. I'll have to do a little research on that. All right, and then wrapping things up is Collection 3. This also came from a CVS at one point. This is probably my favorite collection because it includes the Outrider, which I thought was a really cool ship. You've got Dash Rendar, Luke Skywalker in what I think is kind of a cool pose with his orange jacket on, and then you've got Lebo, and then finally the Houndstooth. Obviously, I'm a Dash Rendar fan and an Outrider fan, so, all that's going to lend itself to being the best one. And then flipping it over, this one allegedly does still have a mini comic in it. Now, if you're more into action figures than Micro Machines, there was a whole set of action figures. I only have 2 of them. This is part of the Power of the Force line from the 90s. Here's a swoop bike with a Swoop Trooper figure, which is exclusive to this box. It comes with a Topps Wide Vision card for the Star Wars Trilogy Special Edition, and this fires a high-impact proton torpedo, which is kind of cool. I'm not sure that you could actually put a proton torpedo on a swoop bike. That might be a little bit of lore-breaking action goodness. I was never that into the Star Wars action figures. I was really into Batman action figures. I had like almost all of the Batman Forever action figures actually, like which meant I had like 20 Batmans and then like one Riddler and one Two-Face. But I was never into the Star Wars ones, and I never quite knew why. I remember looking back and thinking, geez, why didn't I get a bunch more Star Wars action figures? And the reality is it's because these Power of the Force figures were freaking ugly. They're all like really top heavy, muscular, and ridiculous looking, and no articulation. They're just like really cheap and inelegant. The cool thing about Micro Machines was, you could get the entire Star Wars galaxy, all of the characters, all of the ships, and spend a relatively small amount of money because everything was so tiny. Okay, so I do have one other action figure, and that is Prince Shizor. He comes with his energy blade shields. And again, like, ugh. These figures are terrible. Maybe at some point I'll go back and get the rest of these Shadows of the Empire figures. I mean, there was a decent little line of figures that came out. There was a Luke Skywalker in Imperial Guard disguise, which was cool, and then Chewie in the Bounty Hunter disguise. So some definitely cool stuff, just not, I don't know, not well realized, I guess. Okay, so I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to open up some card packs. So let's go ahead and break into these guys. We'll start with Prince Shizor. Let's see what we can pull. Once again, I forgot to pop these in the freezer before doing this video. I suppose I could do that through the magic of editing, but I'm not going to. Okay, so we've got Boba Fett delivering Han Solo to Jabba the Hutt. This should be card 94, the last part in the Dark Horse 6-card subset. Man, I'm getting good at this. 94. All right, and then we've got what should be card 95, Dash Rendar participating in the Battle of Hoth, tying in with the 6-card LucasArts subset of cards. And there it is. Okay, we've got Dash Rendar overhearing a couple bounty hunters on swoops. This is midway through the set. We should have a copy of this card. Oh no, sorry, that's right. This is LucasArts 2 of 6, actually. And then we have one of the last, if not the last card in the Shadows of the Empire story subset of cards. This would be card 70-ish. 72. Luke plans Han's rescue. All right, and then there's a subset of ship cards. Here's the Millennium Falcon. So far, no new cards yet. This is card 83. And then we have the Outrider. I'm assuming this is probably card 84. Outrider 84. And then a glorious card we have never seen before. A beautiful advertisement for the Star Wars 3D Wide Vision cards, tying in with the special edition. I'm starting to get to the point where I kind of want to buy one of these. Alright, and we have got Darth Vader executing Asp, it looks like, so maybe we can get our answer as to who Asp is. This is card number 12. This one's new to us. Darth Vader is no fool. He senses that Shizor is up to something, but what? He'll eventually find out, but in the meantime he needs to remain focused. Although the Dark Lord of the Sith draws mystical powers from the dark side of the Force, he must also rely on his physical prowess. One way he keeps in top shape is by regularly sparring with his specially programmed ASP assassin droids. So there we go. ASP isn't a specific droid, it's a set of droids. I do remember him fighting a bunch of droids for like target practice or whatever. They actually do something similar in the Marvel comic series that's currently canon. I guess I just don't remember them being called ASP droids, but cool. Awesome, we got our answer. I knew it would show up, and on our first new card of the day, which is great. Put this one up here. All right, and then we have Shizor. It looks like prowling around Imperial City. Bet you this is an early card. Shizor relishes the good life. Awesome. And yep, that is Coruscant. Once again, I've said it a million times, I know I'm a broken record, but I love seeing these early takes on Coruscant before they had been fully nailed down by the movies. Another new card. All right, and then we have this wonderful painting of the Millennium Falcon and the Outrider. It almost looks like they're threading the stone needle on Tatooine. I'm assuming that this is actually on Gaul, though. Let's take a look. Fancy flying. And yes, this is on Gaul, it looks like. Cool. All right, so we managed to grab 3 new cards for the set. Obviously, now that we're more than halfway done, it's going to be harder and harder to get new cards, but here's hoping. We'll crack into Boba Fett next and see what we can come up with. Ugh, that was difficult. These ones aren't nearly as sticky once you get towards the middle for some reason. I wonder why that is. All right, so we've got Luke communicating with Ben's Force Ghost. We already have this card. This takes place in the skies over Gaul. Help me, Obi-Wan, card 16. We have got Boba Fett's Slave 1 escaping from Gaul with Han Solo on the Carbonite block. This is probably card 17. Card 17. Boba Fett escapes from Gaul. Next up, looks like we got a new card. This is the Millennium Falcon. It looks like attacking a facility on Gaul, possibly? 18. Narrow Escape. Lando Calrissian trying to catch up with the Slave 1 and failing. Very good. That's a new card. All right, we've got Dash Rendar with Lebo in the background inside the Outrider. This is another card that takes place right at the end of the novel. Got that one. We've already seen this card today, so I'll go ahead and skip that. And then another card we've seen today. Another card we've seen today. All right, here's a new one. It looks like it's a thermal. Looks like a thermal detonator. What is going on here? Card 62, 5 minutes until impact. Lando pulls another detonator out, activates it, and throws it down the garbage chute. This is the penultimate sequence in the book before Shizor goes to his skyhook, and they have their final battle over Coruscant. Alright, looks like we've got a fight between Guri and Luke. I wish Guri was on TikTok. Heh. Guri goes toe-to-toe with Luke, card 63. And then wrapping things up, we have got a near collision between the Millennium Falcon and the Virago. This is Shizor making his escape after the thermal detonator is thrown down the garbage chute. Card 64. And this is one we have already. Alright, we've added 6 new cards to the set, 2 packs to go. Darth Vader is next. And kicking things off, we have a familiar card. Luke Skywalker practicing on a tightrope while reliving the moments from The Empire Strikes Back. That is right at the beginning of the novel. Card number 3. We have Leia negotiating with the Devaronian. Chewie in the background. This is card number probably 4 or 5. 4. We have Leia and Lando in the cantina together. Card number 6. Or sorry, 5. Sorry, last one was 4. This one's 5. We have got Guri's ship, the Stinger. And there's one of these, yeah, okay, 86. There's a painting of the Stinger that's like story related, and then there's a painting of the Stinger that's just intended to represent the Stinger card itself. This is the latter. We've got that one already. All right, we've got a Swoop bike. We have this card already as well. Card 87. And then presumably this is card 88. a really cool image of the Slave One mid-combat. The color palette on the ship itself is really cool. It's sort of muted, but there's a lot of detail in it. I like that. This is a new card for us, and it is card 88. Awesome. That's really cool. I like that one. All right, we've got blah, blah, blah wide vision cards, and perfect, another new card. This is Leia talking to a Hodin. That's a whole can of worms we could get into. So the Hodin are from the Lost City of the Jedi. It's a kid's book. It launched basically at the same time as Heir to the Empire, and it takes place immediately after the events of Return of the Jedi, if I remember correctly. Lost City of the Jedi was the second book of 6, and each of the books had some kind of an ecological message. So like the Hodin were like attuned with plant life, and their forest, it's just like a rainforest gets burned down. It was very 90s topical storyline. But those books are notable because A, they have amazing covers by Drew Struzan, and B, they're kind of like universe breaking because there's stuff that happens in those between Han and Leia that ends up getting explained as happening much later in the adult novels. So it was like very early time for the expanded universe, and they hadn't quite gotten their stuff together yet. So anyway, that was a really long way of explaining this is Leia talking to a Hodin, which I just thought was cool to see a realistically painted Hodin. Carl Kessel did illustrations for those kids' books, and so those books have really great pencil work and ink work, but are a little more cartoony than, Tim and Greg Hildebrandt are doing here. So Leia visits Sparrow's plant shop, card 41. Awesome. That's a new one. All right, and then next up we have Darth Vader, who is really upset that Luke Skywalker got away from these bounty hunters. We've seen this card before. It's a card somewhere in the 40s, probably 42, actually, right after. Awesome. All right, and then last, and not least, but also not the best, we have got Leia meeting Shizor's convoy in Imperial City. We've got this card too. I think we got this one last week. Card 43. All right, so these polls are definitely getting tougher. We've got one more pack left. The question is, will the Force be with us? I'd really love to pull another etched foil or an embossed foil. That would be excellent, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see what we get. Okay, doesn't look like we're getting an embossed foil in this set, because those have gold edging on them. All right, we've got Darth Vader placating to Palpatine. This is right at the beginning of the novel. We have this card. The Emperor Insists, card 22. I guess it's not at the very beginning. It's first third. We've got, who was this? Greedo's uncle is what it ended up being. Yep, Greedo's uncle, card 23. And then I spy a new card behind that. We have Lando playing Sabacc with a bunch of sketchy characters. That's a great image, actually, and it's cool to see what Sabacc used to look like because they've changed it in the context of canon. One of the things they set up in the expanded universe was the cards were electronic, and so they could spontaneously change even while you were in the midst of play. Your hand could actually alter itself, which was, I thought, kind of cool, and you can see that kind of at play here. The Waiting Game, card 24. Put that in the new pile. All right, we've got Swoop Bike. We've seen this one already today. Slave One, we've seen that already today. All right, got a new one here. We've got the IG-2000, piloted by IG-88, attacking Boba Fett. I'm assuming this is tying into the Dark Horse subset of cards, but we will find out. Yep, Dark Horse 1 of 6. I think this is the only one that I was missing in that subset. All right, blah, 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 White Vision. And once again, we've got a fantastic Spaceship Battle card. Unfortunately, we've already got this one, but certainly worth a second look here. It is spectacular, to say the least. All right, we've got The Destruction of the Skyhook. Also have that one already. And a final new one. Oh, that's nice. I like when we finish it out with something new. We have got the Outrider. I think this is when the Outrider is seemingly destroyed. Luke and Leia and Chewie believe that Dash Rendar dies, and I don't remember if he actually dies. I think he actually lives, but it sort of puts the character on ice to explain why he's not in Return of the Jedi. Card 70. Watch out, Dash. And this was a pretty contrived moment. The brazen space jockey dares Luke to follow him, but as they fly into a hole in the exploding debris, the Falcon's crew sees a huge chunk spinning right for the Outrider. Before they can warn Dash and Lebo, a blinding flash forces them to turn away, and when they look back, the Outrider is gone. Yeah, I don't know. He's a hotshot pilot. It seems obvious that, something else is going on there. Now, I think we got card 71 in here. Let me just see really quick. 72? No. 71. So in case there was a question, this is the very next card. Dash Rendar making his escape. Dash's secret getaway. So yeah, he does live at the end of this. All right, guys, so thank you for joining me on this third card rip for Shadows of the Empire. We got a small stack of new cards this time. So we've got 1, 2, 3, upside down, sorry, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that supposed to be Lando? I guess it is. You can kind of see it in his eyes. 8, 9, 10, 11 new cards. Which, you know what? That's actually not too bad considering, we're 53 cards in. This brings us up to 64. Only 26 cards left in the core set, so that's pretty exciting. If you enjoyed watching this video, be sure to leave a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe if you would like. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you guys have a great week in cards, and have a good one.